Would you ever play old versions of League of Legends a la WoW Classic? Like you could hop in an S3 game mode or something? I'd play it, yeah. I probably wouldn't play it that much, but I would play it. I would just try it. I think people have a really nostalgic bias towards old League. Game was horribly balanced. Way worse than it's balanced now. In terms of what, like, number of viable champions, there's not that many viable champions back then as opposed to now. There's not that many viable builds. You are pigeonholed into playing certain stuff, or you're just at a huge disadvantage. Yeah, I think League back then was just way worse of a game, but I would play it for the nostalgia purposes, obviously. Alistair Braum only, yeah. Like, there are literally metas where there's maybe 3 viable champions per role. If you're playing something else, then you're fucking griefing. So, in that sense, I think that old League is like, you're chasing the feeling that you got with old League. That's what people always chase, like the feeling of, so like with WoW Classic, they're chasing the feeling of like discovery of a new genre, a new world. They're that feeling of just like being a part of this huge movement, like discovery and like exploring the unknown. And then like when you play WoW Classic now, it's like you watch a guide or you look at a guide and it's like, this is the fastest way to level your mining from 1 to 100. This is the fastest way to level from 1 to 60. You go here until level 23, then you do Scarlet Monastery runs until 55. Like, it's just like you, and then when you go to Molten Core, this is like the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, do this. You download this add-on, like download these DPS meters, like play this class to do the most damage, like get these world buffs. All these things are like known, and like you're just going through the motions of something that has been solved. And like I think with League it's pretty similar, right? Like now that those metas have been solved, we would go back and they would just be completely streamlined. Back then you had this feeling of like League is new, everyone's kind of worse at the game, you know, something like an insect, something like a Mad Life is like unheard of, like no one has done that before. And then you know, you would go back into the game in that state from before with the knowledge that you have now, and the game would be horrible. Because people are better, people are smarter, there's more information out there, there's Twitch streams, YouTube videos, there's written guides, like there's pro players who would just go back and stomp. So I just think people who want like League Classic, just let it die, man. There's so many more problems for the game back then, and you're chasing the feeling that you had back then, but you're not going to have it. It's not going to be the same because you're older now. You've played and watch League for 8 more years. Anything is going to start tasting bad if you have it every day or every week for 8 years, 10 years.